Welcome back to more Super Mario Galaxy. Last time, we found our first purple coin stars and entered the Gold Leaf Galaxy. This time, we're going to see what else this galaxy has in store for us. Our next mission is Cataquack to the Skies. As we make our way to the ledge where we found the hidden star, I did want to talk a little bit more about that. I double-checked the footage and figured out why I was having trouble ringing the bell. It's actually not the bubble that rings the bell, it's the cursor, from what I can tell. So when running into the bell directly, nothing was happening, but on the successful attempt, the cursor happened to brush past the bell, and that's what activated it. That's actually very specific. I'm surprised it's set up that way, to be honest. But back to the main path of the main star, we can use the Cataquack's help to make it up to the switch. That reveals a ton of star bits leading to the next launch star, but we actually want to fly up here, where we can find a hidden pipe. This leads to a very familiar looking secret area with a ton of boulders, and as usual we have a large coin at the bottom, so let's carefully dodge the boulders and see what this gives us. Of course, it's a rainbow star that we can use to break all of these boulders. One thing worth mentioning, I actually double-checked the numbers of star bits I need for the rest of this playthrough, and I realized something. I forgot a Hungry Luma, so we are actually not anywhere close to where we need to be in terms of star bits. So yeah, it's kind of good that there are little secret areas to give us star bits in that case. If we don't have enough, I'll get them off screen, so no worries. So we now have to carefully drop back to the main path, like so, and make our way to the next launch star. Sadly without the bee suit, but luckily it won't be needed for a bit. Even if we had the bee suit, we land immediately in water, so we would lose it right away, so no big loss. Next up, we now need the Cataquack's help a little bit more to launch us up to this, which actually looks a lot like the maze in the Gusty Garden Galaxy. Like, there's even a fountain and everything. So like before, we basically need to lead a Cataquack to a very specific spot to launch us up to the next area. So here's our Cataquack, and now we just have to carefully guide it, which is easier said than done. I feel like in general, this is one area where the camera kind of has trouble. It's a fixed camera, and sometimes, like just now when it got launched, I got kind of turned around a little bit to the point of getting stuck, essentially. It's not too big of a deal. These are blue Cataquacks, not red Cataquacks, so we don't take damage. There actually aren't any red Cataquacks, so instead of enemies, these are kind of more like helpful, which is actually kind of cool. As someone who likes Sunshine, I actually kind of like seeing Cataquacks return. We're almost to the star, but we need a bit of a lift first. And luckily for us, there's another Cataquack on this planet. Let's clear a path through the moles. Never mind, the Cataquack got through no problem. So let's carefully guide it. Oh, there is another mole. Let's carefully guide the Cataquack over here to the bee mushroom and try to fly up to the star. So we need one boost there, and then we need a second boost up to the tower. This always looked like Jenga to me. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's always the impression I got of this. Like before, we lose the bee mushroom if we take damage, or if we touch water. We need the bee mushroom to cross these flowers, so as we make our way across, we have to be very careful about the enemies all around this area. So yeah, let's very carefully fly over, and the next star is right over here. You got a star. Cataquack to the skies, Gold Leaf Galaxy. High score updated. You increased your star bit count. Before we continue with that galaxy, I want to make a detour. We still have quite a few purple coin stars to find, so let's start chipping away at them between main stars. They seem to appear between stars, so this actually works out well. And our next stop is actually, instead of the fountain, the kitchen. We have a purple comet at the Beach Bowl Galaxy. This is beach combing for purple coins. So this is another one like the Honey Hive Galaxy, where we can basically leisurely go through the starting planet collecting 100 purple coins. No real pressure, but there is one coming up soon that I am very worried about, and that's why we are prioritizing the kitchen instead of the fountain. The fountain purple coins aren't too bad. I say as one is very infamous, but in general I don't find it to be that scary. But we have one here that is actually very scary. Coincidentally, located at the Ghostly Galaxy. So yeah, let's clear the way to that, and then make our way to that after the next Gold Leaf Star. It is actually kind of nice having all of these unlocked earlier than usual. Normally I do get all the main stars and then save all the purple coins till the end, but it is actually kind of a nice change of pace as someone who never plays this game this way, to be able to like alternate the main stars and the purple coins. Also, one thing worth mentioning, I actually double-checked the number of main galaxies, and even though I was talking about variety, especially right before the Gold Leaf Galaxy came up, the amount of main galaxies is actually, I think it's still 15, like in 64, so it actually is similar. But I guess for me, the reason why it feels like there's more variety is because there's all of these side galaxies too. Like in 64, there were only like 15 bonus stars, or like secret stars as they were called. In this game it feels like there's a lot more secret stars, or like side galaxies, to which helps to make the game feel a little bit fresher and less like you're in one area for a long time. And also having the purple coins unlock after is also kind of nice, because it basically adds additional challenges to areas you've already been to, but it's actually, in a lot of cases, been a while. So, like, it's kind of neat after going through most of the adventure to go back to, like, Honey Hive, or, in this case, Beach Bowl, and just kind of leisurely go after all the coins. I say leisurely, but there is one part of this particular mission that I don't like. It's actually something we were supposed to be introduced to at a later time, but because we're doing this purple coin star, we will actually see it earlier than originally intended. And I can't decide if that's a good thing or not, because that mission is actually kind of difficult. But this mission is also kind of difficult, so I don't know if we're like jumping into the deep end of the pool trying to learn how to swim by getting the power up here rather than later. But we have this mushroom. You transformed into Spring Luigi. Press B at the right moment to bounce high. Boing! This is probably the most polarizing ability in Galaxy, and I don't entirely disagree with that assessment. The problem with the Spring Mushroom is we are constantly moving. We cannot stop, we are constantly bouncing, which can be very scary if you have to collect things on narrow ledges, which is why I am not collecting some of these purple coins yet. Like all the other mushrooms, you do have a way to deactivate the power-up, in this case, similar to the bee mushroom. If you fall in water, you will lose this. Once we actually see it in the intended first appearance, we'll probably get all this information from the game itself, which will be slightly redundant. Yeah, in general, in some ways, this actually is a little bit more of a chill way to actually first experience this power-up, because other than potentially falling off the planet, Beach Bowl is relatively low risk, rather than the actual galaxy where this is introduced, which has a ton of pits. So yeah, in some ways, this does require some finesse, but in other ways, I actually feel like this power-up is slightly overhated, actually. It's definitely unwieldy, but I actually think it doesn't come up enough to be annoying. Like, other than the galaxy where it's introduced and Beach Bowl, it's only used, I think, one other time in the entire series, actually, which is Galaxy 2. So yeah, if you don't like the spring mushroom, thankfully it doesn't come up very often. But yeah, as a result, I do feel like it's not the worst thing, and I feel like if it was used in more galaxies, I might resent it more, actually. So maybe it's a good thing it only shows up in, like, a couple galaxies. At least as far as I remember. I may be surprised later on, going through a mission, being like, oh wait, we actually do have the spring mushroom, and now everything is miserable again. So yeah, we're actually done with the spring mushroom, thankfully. Everything else we are better off just collecting as Luigi in his standard form, both because some things are in water and other things are on these trees where we probably jump up and then fall down anyway, so we might as well just platform the old-fashioned way up these. We're making good progress here, actually. I feel like some of these purple coin missions take a while. Like Honey Hive, I felt like that took a while. Beach Bowl feels a little bit more concise, partly because other than the stuff you need the spring mushroom for, you don't really need to backtrack, and that's the main problem with Honey Hive. If you fall down at any point, you have to basically go all the way back up, and it takes a while. So yeah, in general, I do feel like this is actually slightly easier. Again, I feel like Honey Hive is one of the bigger single planets in the game, so as a purple coin mission, it actually ends up feeling kind of overwhelming. And again, a lot can actually go wrong if you happen to, like, fall, and then you basically have to, like, redo a bunch of stuff. If you have to, like, you know, recollect all the coins you lost. So yeah, in general, I actually feel like this one's pretty leisurely, all things considered, especially being the third major dome. Yeah, this one's actually pretty chill. So there's one over here, and the final one is above the penguin coach. So let's swim on over and collect it. It's free time in swim class today. Play nice, alright? And for our efforts, we have another star. You got a star. Beachcombing for purple coins, Beach Bowl Galaxy. Galaxy complete. You increased your starbit count. Since we have to wait for the next purple coin star to appear, we might as well head back to the engine room. And we will continue to explore the Gold Leaf Galaxy. Alright, let's see what's next. This is When It Rains, It Pours. That's the observation deck, the pride of our galaxy. Alright, so it looks like enemies have invaded the tower, so let's climb up. First things first, let's actually pick up a bee mushroom. This is actually very dangerous because we have a ton of water around, and we cannot be a bee in water. So we have to carefully platform across this area, making sure not to get caught in the rain. This is actually a very clever galaxy. Again, even though a lot of the concepts from this are just, Honey Hive mirrored, I feel like the missions are actually unique enough that it is still a pretty good galaxy, all things considered. It's just slightly forgettable because, yeah, we've already seen Honey Hive, so it feels slightly redundant compared to some of the other galaxies. Oh no, whatever will we do? A mean mole took over on our observation deck. So it's up to us to stop the mole. Carefully dodging the rain. You can actually stand on the clouds, no problem. It's just you can't be under the rain clouds. So let's carefully make our way up here to this little swing. I actually like how the entirety of the swing is a hitbox. So like if you don't have to grab the bar of the swing, you just can grab the vine part and you'll drop down. It's actually really nice to not have to be overly precise. So let's carefully make our way across. We can actually see what path the rain clouds are taking, which is actually kind of cool. I think we're actually supposed to ride this rain cloud, but you can also just fly. And I think we're supposed to go up based on this arrow, pointing up. Alright, from here, we need to fly up to this ledge, where we have another one of these little rocks. And that gives us a vine to the top. We need to fight this mole, but unfortunately for us, it has a water cannon, so we have to be very careful as we fly over. Alright, let's try this again. There's also a rain cloud we have to be aware of. And now the mole is very mad, so let's carefully fly over, or not. That's fine, actually, because there isn't another way to actually get through this. First of all, we need to go over here to the switch. And now we have to carefully make our way over within a time limit to these little stairs to make our way up to the mole. And we have our next star. You got a star. When it rains, it pours. Gold Leaf Galaxy. High score updated. You increased your starbit count. So we're heading back down to the kitchen once again. This is why I was like, maybe activate the shortcut, because we will be making this, making a lot of trips back and forth. And we now have a purple comet at the Ghostly Galaxy. This is Purple Coins in the Bone Pen. So this is a little bit different than the ones we've seen so far. This is timed. We have a minute to collect 100 out of 150 purple coins. There are 149 in this pen, and there's actually one on the starting planet that's just designed to waste your time. We also have a remix of the Gusty Garden song, which is always appreciated, even though I feel like this level is very stressful, so I don't appreciate the song as much as I would like to. But because there are there's basically 33% more coins than you actually need. Basically, just kind of comb the outer edges, collect as many coins as possible, don't worry about stragglers, and just, make your way around here as quickly as possible, and you'll be fine. But we still have to actually get to the star. You got a star. Purple coins and the bone pen. Ghostly Galaxy. Galaxy complete. You increased your star bit count. In my opinion, that's actually one of the toughest purple coin stars because of how strict the time limit is. We only had 3 seconds left, so I'm very glad to have gotten that over with. Next up, we're heading back to the engine room once again. And we'll have to see what we can do next. We have 2 comets left at the Gold Leaf Galaxy, and we have several main galaxies to go through. So instead, we're actually going to this little smaller galaxy. The Bonefin Galaxy. Our mission here is King Finn's Fearsome Waters. So we're starting out on the ship with a launch star to a very ominous looking planet. This is King Finn. Like before, we basically need to use shells to defeat this boss, which is easier said than done, as Luigi specifically. Again, Mario doesn't really have a problem with the star, Luigi kind of has a problem. There are red shells, which is helpful because they do home in, so let's catch up and throw this. Now, smaller fish appear to get in the way and try to take us out, so let's be very careful. If I can find the red shell again, that would be great. I find navigating underwater planets very difficult, but I actually managed to find it again, thankfully. So let's try this again, deal a little bit more damage to King Finn. I'm going to leave the coin just in case. Let's try to get a little bit closer before tossing this. Alright, so we now need to find... let's actually pick up this life shroom. This will come in handy. This isn't overly difficult, but I am a little bit worried about taking too much damage. Let's try with a green shell, see how this works. These don't home, so we have to be a little bit more careful. And I got hit before I could even throw it, so that was great. Let's try this again, catch up a little bit, and then toss. And now we have a lot of tiny fish to contend with. I might just keep an eye out for the red shells. Those are a lot better than the green shells for this. I say as I'm immediately going for a green shell because it's what I can find. Also, it helps you to swim faster, so even if you don't want to throw the green shells, they do help you to actually get to the red shells. So yeah, maybe it's a good idea to just pick up a green shell when you see one. I think that phased through Kingpin, so that sucked. So let's circle around, try this again. I do feel like I run into Kingpin a lot, and that's the main source of damage in this fight. It's honestly a really cool boss design to have in like a side galaxy. It's actually kind of impressive. But now we have the fun task of like where... Oh, there it is. You got a star! Kingfin's Fearsome Waters, Bonefin Galaxy. Galaxy complete. High score updated. You increased your starbit count. One thing I've been actually forgetting to talk about is this Luma. According to the manual, this Luma's name is Polari, and he can actually help you out a lot here. Oh, of course, here's the map. I would recommend checking the map a lot at this phase of the game to see where comets are starting to appear. So yeah, we can actually see we have several comets to potentially find next time. Assuming nothing changes when I load the game back up, next time we'll be tackling the purple comet of the Gold Leaf Galaxy to start things out. And then we'll probably move on to this main galaxy over here. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Mario Galaxy.